Back to racing as we're happy with this here at Kart Chaser. It's time for our next grouping. It's time to get rolling because the Masters are already on the circuit and are already underway. Just like that, to work they go. Scott Carpoletti, I should say, up at the front of the field. Estes in second. Kim Carpoletti, along with James Insco, are the four cars on the racetrack as they round.
Absolutely, Justin, as the field works their way out of the bowl, heading down into the back straightaway. It's going to be Carpoletti and Brent Estes leading the charge. Kim Carpoletti got a little help as well from James Insco as they head into the final corner. Scott Carpoletti just trying to manage those tires after his early spin in qualifying earlier today, and now leads us here with about a 10th or 2/10 of a second lead.
So far, so solid for the field as Scott tries to hold on by a couple tenths of a second for now. Estes did have a faster lap to begin things through as they worked their way to the Bulls section. Way to the back straightaway, though. The big thing will be, will we see things spread apart, or will we see the pack stay together, so to speak? Keep in mind, it's not like with the Briggs motors where you can get a lot of back and forth. These drivers have to have a lot more finesse to them, Taylor, if they want to make the pass. How do you set it up in these cars?
One thing to do that is just by making sure you get that better run off corner exit compared to your competitor, as well as also with the help of the draft. But with that, you might need to have a little bit more help with someone from behind as well. And also keep an eye on the mistake that's happening in front of you. Carpoletti, though, very consistent driver. Even though he had that mistake in qualifying, he is probably going to be one that will just try and just take care of his equipment. Plus also for someone like Brent Estes, he's not going to push the envelope unless he has that run built up to where he can fire it off and make the pass complete, not just go there side by side and then start to bring Kim Carpoletti and Insco into this fight. He wants to keep it a two-horse race as much as possible.
We're seeing that now coming to play with the speed difference here. Small little increases on the buffer per lap right now compared to Estes. The big thing about today also is going to be the setup to get the points, as we talked about, to be able to prepare yourself for the pre-final starting position wise. And obviously consistency going to be very beneficial to showcase that here today. Right now, Estes, he's the fastest car on the racetrack, got a purple lap last time through. It seems like Brent has enough to keep up, Taylor, and be able to chip away. The question is that going to be enough to close up? Because it almost looks like he's in a brick wall down the straightaway.
He certainly is, and I think he's just got to find his way to break that wall one way or another, whether it is by Carpoletti making a mistake, or we see Estes get that run he needs off corner exit, as well as that mistake coming from Carpoletti. It's going to be a little more difficult, though, as time continues to wind down. But also, if I was Estes, yes, I know that Carpoletti could also get a great points day, but so will Brent Estes as well, with being the only KA Masters returning to compete. So take care of his equipment right now. Wait to see what Carpoletti will do. Let him be the rabbit. Just take care of that tires, not push the envelope. There's only 4 of you out there on the track, and right now it's a two-horse race for the race lead.
Keep in mind, Estes, we talked about him a fair bit here today. He is somebody that's ran in podium finishes in US PK's competition. He's been able to do well there. Also has done well at Atlanta Motorsports Park, raced with his son Cameron a few times over there as far back as 2020. So races a fair bit across the nation. He likes to travel and likes to be competitive in these races. 2:30 to go, though. Still nothing doing on a setup. And honestly, Taylor, we might not see him move into the final lap with this, but it's about the chase. What's the saying with the Fox and the Hound? It's about the hunt. The hunt. It's about chasing down the hunt to be able to get the thrill that way. You know what I mean? To chase down your opponent.
Yes, it is to chase down your opponent, and in this case, pass his opponent, but sometimes these drivers like to play the long game and realize, hey, we got another heat race still to go. We got pre-finals. We got finals action. I need to make sure I take care of my equipment. And I see that happening right here with Brant Estes as well. I mean, like I touched on a few minutes ago, he's the only returning driver. Yes, we're taking only the best 2 races, but right now with Carapelletti currently with one of the best average finishes so far, with a top 2 finish over at NOLA as well. Brandon, with this strong run right here, could be a good points day for him and make sure he has what it takes to win the championship here for the Apex Karting South Division.
Yeah, and the big thing to consider here too is, remember, it's about, for some drivers, it's about the choice of what series to prioritize. For others, it's about hitting that threshold to be able to race in the main event for Apex when it comes to the fall time, because that one's going to be an exciting one, to say the very least, to talk about and think about for these drivers. But these drivers are now fighting. Looks like Estes finally gets the run and takes it away. New race leader, it's the 407.
Yes, he did. He found the run he needed and now took off with the run he wanted to take over the race lead, and with enough time to try and see if he can stretch out that race lead. Carapelletti, though, gonna stay tucked up as close as he can, goes the inside run, tries to stay right up against the back bumper of Estes, but it's starting to break off a little bit. About 2 kart lengths as they come down the back stretch.
So far, so solid with the fighting today. We'll see if we get 3 laps or 2 laps. It's going to be close, actually, for how many minutes we'll get on the board. See what they get here once they zip around. 2 1-second offset in the cross. It is 3 laps to go being displayed on our timing screen. So, get that extra moment or so we were talking about lap-wise. We're expecting, because the speed's here, the 36-second bracket. And right now, Estes, who is the fastest driver on track for a majority of the laps behind Scott Carapelletti, seeming like he's holding on, but look at Scott. Great Scott. It's a new race lead for Scott.
Certainly giving it all she's got as they work their way down, heading over through the first couple of corners to kick off the final 2 laps here as he works his way into the mini bowl. And now Estes has to figure out what he can do to respond, and we'll probably see that happening on the back stretch as they come through the main bowl.
All sorting themselves here with a couple laps to do something, anything. Scott Carapelletti working hard on the outside. Estes still trying to sort out where to go to retake the lead. It took about 10 laps to set up the original pass. It took Scott all of 1 lap to get it back. Final time around here for KA Masters Heat 1.
Now the question is going to be, will Estes fire off on the back straightaway? We saw him make that pass to get the race lead, to make it where it counts. But does Carapelletti still have that little extra in the tank to hold off? He'll go down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to see if he can prevent him. No! Estes all the way to the white line, takes the pass to the inside. New race leader at the final corner. It is going to be Brant Estes responding to take home the heat race win.
Brant Estes puts up his hand in a thank you very much. Some competitive battling up front with Scott. Him does hold on to 3rd, and James Insko quietly did pull on down 499 Kart to be laps down. See those results. Brant had to go toe-to-toe with Scott there, but Brant Estes does get the very edge jailer for the win.
Great run indeed there for Brant Estes. Scott Carapelletti, though, interested to see what he can do in the second heat race, to what adjustments he may try to get himself ready and hold off Brant Estes to try to see if he can get a heat race victory.
That concludes our first heat race of the afternoon portion of the session, where these races have been zipping on through normally throughout the day. The micros are due up next for their respective race. In the micros Might be interesting how Maddox, in particular, pulls off the way Maddox, as parents have rightly pointed out here, moved up into the micros just less than about 2 weeks ago, Taylor. And Maddox has been in contention with one of the better drivers in the micros across the national scene for the past few months. In each of the races we've seen so far in Apex and across here in Florida.
Absolutely, Maddox Knives is going to be one to watch for sure. And of course, as he fires off to lead us to the green flag, I gotta say, what can Spencer Height do? He's looking to try to go and sweep the weekend like he did last time out over in New Orleans. But it's going to be a little more difficult to do it in the micro division, I have to say, as he has to fight off Maddox Knives and a couple of other competitors. Because when he was racing micros at NOLA, he didn't have anybody else. It was only him racing. So it'll be a little bit of a tougher scenario to see what he can overcome here today.
So let's see how things play out. How they're set to start is Maddox Knives along with Spencer Height, Luca Valetes, along with Jace Chaney, Caden Pridemore are the drivers in this field here this afternoon for the micros in the IAME engine package. And it should be similar, so to speak, in terms of what we see with the engine package. The micros and the minis tend to have a fair bit of draft with the way they work with the slide and how they work the engines. You see them already being told to slow on down and stay in a line as you see them try and heat up the tires. And they have to be able to get into the tram lines here before we can get going. Looks like they're a little bit offset here. Now they should just about be equalized out. Maddox, I don't think, realized he's out of the tram lines. Now he's back in it for the start zone. There's the block to cover it up with the green, and we're underway for micro. Already off
Maddox
to a
Knives,
clean
Spencer
start.
Height. Yes, indeed, they're already working their way through. Your top two separating themselves from the rest of the field right now, as we see Luca Valadez right there in third, trying to hold off Pridemore and Chaney, as they'll have a good fight for the final step of the podium here today. Coming out of the main bowl, they'll work their way off the back straightaway. Spencer Height, can he reel in his competitor for this weekend, Maddox Knives? As he does so, to the inside, they will swap it up and pick up where they left off in the Briggs category.
Height takes the spot. Height able to jump up to the front. Now the battle is on to see how things play out. Remember, the speed difference was a couple tenths in qualifying between the two of these karts, and they went back and forth almost every single lap in the 206s earlier on today. Height with a lot of experience across the nation. We talked about him everywhere it seems. Kid car competition, he raced on the Coyote, in fact. Some of the experience, has experience in Nitro Kart. Done well in East Division competition in the 2020s, picking up Grand National Kid Kart Championship in 2024. Very promising future. He's been very promising in this series we're touching upon. Coming off the Mini Swift Track Championship at Trackhouse. He's going to have to fight Maddox throughout the entire race. Maddox to the front with another swap to the Mini Bowl.
Another pass, another good fight for positioning here amongst your top two as they work their way out of the main bowl, and then Spencer Height reeled back in the leader on the back straightaway. Here he comes, closing in, reeling in the big prize as he tries to see, will he look to the inside? Yes, he will. He's going to go ahead and take the run and reclaim the lead on the back straightaway. This is going to be my biggest question. We saw that Maddox started, of course, doing the same thing, of course, in the Briggs race, in their heat races. But also we saw how Spencer was a little bit more patient and waiting till the back straightaway to take the fight and take that position away where it counted. If I was Knives, I would be waiting to the back straightaway and make it to where I'm the one who will make the pass on the back straightaway. Let Spencer go on the defense.
So how do you get back into that pattern? I know how simple that may sound. Do you just not go for the pass or tell a driver don't go for the gap if car?
mean, if you want to plan it out right, because if you look right there, look how far off it is when Spencer makes the pass to the checkered flag. Unless we see Knives make a brave move and hold his line into the corner entry of those final 2 corners, I mean, you might as well be looking at giving Spencer Height the race win.
We know Height has blocked the bottom of the racetrack coming to 2 laps to go like clockwork. We've seen the stand originally in the mini bowls, didn't work out. Maddox Knives this time does get in the pattern to take it away in the turn 8. Can he get it to work though to complete the pass? Yes. He takes away the race lead, but Spencer Height follows on behind. Watch the crew member signs and signals on behind as they try and tell the drivers where they should be going and how they should approach these laps with 3 minutes to go.
Right now, Maddox has a little bit of more breathing room compared to his last couple of runs onto the back straightaway. Let's see what Spencer does here as he heads down the back straightaway. Starts to reel him back in, reeling back in. Not close enough really to make a pass though, so he's going to stay tucked up behind for the moment and not press the envelope, switching back and forth positions.
So now, looking like things are calming down. See some of the parents telling them, here's the gap, focus on this, do this approach, do this approach. And normally we don't really see that, but I've noticed that a fair bit here today, Taylor, where with the way the pit exit works, that has been something some have been utilizing. Not too many, obviously, because you can't have 25 parents standing on the pit exit. But it's worked out that way for communication. By the way, 233, what is working on behind. Here's the hand signals, watching for. It's time through. See the parents as they watch on by the exit. And there's the move. Try to say, go on, catch up, go, close it.
Well, for Valadez, he's going to need a little bit more help where Height and Knives are going to be having to fight real hard where contact is involved for him to catch up in these final couple of minutes as they head down the back straightaway. Height right there, but is he going to choose to make the pass as we wait and see as they head into the final corner? Nope, stays tucked up behind, knowing there's still plenty of time. He's got the pace. He just set the fastest lap of the race as well. Look at the parents there trying to give him a little hand signal showing the gap. Last time by, Maddox Knives responds setting fastest lap, but not by much as Spencer Height is hot on his tail.
I know this is probably going to be more of Xander Clement's question. I know he's busy in other parts of the country today, but it's almost the question of, when you're in the kart, do you look that way? Do you try and focus on the signals like that, or are you just focusing on the road at that point?
I mean, if you're someone who's a kid, I mean, you gotta always take a quick little peek, but still try to remain heavily focused on what's going on around you on the track. I mean, it's just a quick glance and move on.
So we're coming up to what is going to be close on the lap count, by the way. Might be 3 to go, I think. It's going to depend on what these drivers do. And right now, Maddox Knives is pulling away to close out the run. He's backing up what we're seeing a little bit for qualified. But look at the boost. Spencer Height closed up 4 kart lengths. Down one straightaway with the trap. Wasn't enough to send to the inside, but that was significant. If he is a couple kart lengths closer, we might see the slingshot that we expect here with this type of racing to take the lead here. He's going to have to close in the technical area, though.
He's going to have to pick it up the pace just a little bit more, but last time by, Spencer was a little bit faster, but here's where he really gets that extra on the back straightaway. That kart sings perfectly as he tries to close the gap, but he's got to be careful of how he goes into these final couple of corners. He's been kind of pushing the envelope a little bit to where he overshoots the corner just a tad, which allows Maddox to pull away a little bit more. 2 laps to go.
There's the signal from parents. 2 laps to go for Maddox Knives to control things up at the front of the field. Staying up by 4 kart lengths. Give it up to 5, in fact. They work their way around the pavilion. Now to the bowl. Right now, the gap is growing perfectly for the 223. The speed in the mini bowl section has been perfect to be able to break away today. Now it's a matter of just keeping it clean. Coming up to the white flag this time by the 223. Leads by 6 kart lengths, now down to 5 again.
Doing exactly what he needs to do. Hit his marks and hold on here. He is staying ahead and making faster laps than Spencer Height. That is exactly what he needs to do. Goes a little wide off corner exit right there, but still has enough of a comfortable gap to hold position as they come to the checkered flag.
Maddox Knives so far today has looked stout in each of the classes ran only a couple weeks ago. Moved up into micros, and well, Maddox, you can say, is going to be very quick throughout the rest of the year if this is the standard showcase so far. Checker flag, Maddox Knives gets it done, gets the win in the micros, and heat number 1 does so by almost half a second. Height in second, Titus in third, Cheney in fourth. Pridemore does get the top 5 as the 5th kart in. But for Maddox, had to work for it with Spencer, especially in the mid-run, but had the end of the run boost he needed.
Incredible drive indeed for Maddox Knives. Can do it where it counts, and we look forward to seeing what he can do in heat race number 2.
Take a quick break. You're watching Kart Chaser. Have it with us for more coverage of Apex.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's action as we now switch our attention to our 3rd heat of this rotation. As some of the drivers spin out and have a little bit of trouble here. That is Lewis, who goes around. He was set to start in 5th. Much of the field getting ready to go here in KA Senior. Daniel Perez up at the front of the field with Henry Wheeler and Christopher McKeithen in the conversation right from the onset. Sawyer Roussel, Lewis, we'll see if he's able to rejoin, and it looks like it's going to be at the back of the field. So Corsi gets Thompson, Cassie, along with Labor and Sherrick amongst your top 10, it appears now. We're underway, and a better start by Wheeler and some spins in the heart of the field.
Tough break for several drivers. That's the 936 machine that loops it around along with another competitor as Henry Wheeler and Perez continue to move away. That was Roussel as one driver cuts through the grass as he will now have to rejoin at the tail end.
A lot of drivers having issues now in the mini bowl section as that has completely flipped the front of the field on its head with Wheeler able to break away with Perez up at the front. McKeithen with the slides going on for drivers like Roussel and company to pick up a lot more ground, and it'll take a lot of raw speed. First lap goes to Wheeler. The outside line worked for the first time early today on a restart, Taylor.
Certainly was a tough break right there. I gotta say, I was not surprised to see some chaos happening in your KA senior category on that opening run. But Henry Wheeler looking to try to finally find his way up at the front of the field as McKeithen is trying to hunt them down.
Trying to put in the work as quick as possible. 1.7 seconds on the first lap. Where's it going to be on the second lap? Is he going to get within the 1 second band? Not yet, but he did pick up a couple tenths. I think McKeithen has the chance to Taylor to close. But what's the mindset like if you're McKeithen right now to be able to keep up the pace without burning up the tires?
Well, one thing to do is try and just settle in right here. Realize we have another heat race. Avoid the chaos that happened there, and he might have a shot to go and battle with Wheeler and Perez. But we know how much pace that Perez has had, especially over at NOLA and here today. Wheeler also, you can't go wrong with him and cannot count out him at any situation.
Here, by the way, Lewis, who started at the tail end because of the spin on the pace lap, guess what? Already to 7th. That's how far the 983 has moved up. Anthony Lewis is doing a terrific job on the recovery from what could have been great track position for the onset. How to work for it this time. One of the drivers you see there in the pack on the push. Set to graduate high school in 2028, but also picked up a track championship at Nicholson Speedway in 2024. Also, part of those who competed many times over at Truckhouse as of late.
Let's be honest, I would not be surprised if nearly half of the field here in your KA senior category or any of our divisions have not competed at Trackhouse Motorplex at one point or another. As we keep an eye on your race leader, Perez, I think is just going to be comfortable working because I will say McKeithen is closing in. The gap is 1.4 seconds from himself to the race leader, and he is making heavy runs to make this work for him. As he comes across the line, he sets another fastest lap of the race as Perez to the inside takes over the race lead.
Perez able to jump up to the race lead, able to take it in the mini bowl, actually. Now, we'll see if he's going to be able to try and pull away a little bit here. We're obviously going to be in the pole. It looks like McKeithen just about is in draft distance, by the way. And as we know and seen it many times, say in SCUSA, in Stars, get within 1 second, it's up by a couple tenths the first lap. Then you go up by 3 tenths on the close-up, and then you're there, and then you have to figure your way around. Keithan's got a great chance to chip away here now that he's got suction off Wheeler.
A little bit of breathing room where it counts for him here, and this is what we saw last time at NOLA. NOLA, he was able, once he finally found clean air and got out front, he was able to start stretching that race lead away pretty quickly throughout the day, and now makes a quick adjustment on the carburetor, and will continue to try to stretch out that race lead as McKeithen has closed in onto the back bumper of Henry Wheeler.
Yep, there's the expectation. Closed up a couple tenths, then 3 tenths. Right on the money. Now needs to find a way around Wheeler because Perez is quicker right now on the average. Last time through, Perez put himself into the 30.7s and the 35.8s. Wheeler went to the 36 ones and now has to work with McKeithen because McKeithen is quicker. Here's the thing about McKeithen. He set the fastest lap of the race last time through. His average is quicker than the leader.
Question is, will he have enough time? And I think the answer is going to be yes. Christian McKeithen is going to be a hard charger, and he's going to find his way to the back bumper of Perez. Catching him is one thing, which I think he will do. Passing him is going to be another as they come out of the bowl right now. 0.6 of a second. We'll see how it is when they cross the line because it's getting smaller and smaller.
Chip away has to be the mindset when it comes to that. Can he keep the chip away effect going with less than 90 seconds to work with here in this one? The Canadian champion just needs to close up at our 6 kart lanes to be up there. Of note, out of some of the drivers outside the league conversation, for those wondering, a +4 for Aiden Lieber on his charge. Cusio has got into 8th. Also of note, Lewis has plateaued and stayed in the 7th spot. Only one driver is out so far for the early spins. That's Levi Getz. Everybody else has remained on the racetrack. McKeithen, it's closed up the 10th. It's time for the 3/10 margin if he is able to keep it up with the march in the draft for the straightaway.
Yeah, he is still setting fast lap here. In fact, he was about 0.2 of a second faster than Daniel Perez last time by, and he is starting to really chip away. Big run out of the bowl coming for him as they come down the back straightaway. He may try something going into turn number 1 on the start of this as they come through the final couple of corners. 3 laps to go.
3 to go with the timing as they make their way out through 1 and 2, march through 3. McKeithen able to chip away a little bit deeper onto the send. He seems to have a decent amount of bite on the front of the kart, able to make it stick right now for the entry, but it's been about the exit speed when it comes to being good for the exit of the bowl. Here comes the pull for McKeithen. Here comes the dive. Here comes the battle for the race lead. McKeithen takes it away. 2 laps to go coming up.
McKeithen finally found his way. Now Perez has to find a way to respond. He's made a good pass coming into turn number 2 and 3 right here. He'll try to go around the outside as they come through the mini bowl. Not enough. Bolt, we see McKeithen go up a little too wide. That brings Perez back into the hunt.
Perez working on the reset. Now tries to use a little bit of the higher line, try to diamond line. McKeithen immediately hugs the inside. All Perez can do is push. Now he tries the outside. Looking to try and cut shallower. Covered off in turn 8. McKeithen forces him to lift. Coming up to the white flag. Now Perez does get alongside for a second as they come around.
Incredible fight for the race lead here in the closing stages of your Heat Race 1 with the seniors as they make contact almost. McKeithen has to go a little too wide. This gives the inside lane almost to Perez. He'll push him up the racetrack. Perez takes over the race lead out of the bowl, heading down the back straightaway. McKeithen, what will he do? Try to go to the bottom all the way or stay tucked up to the final last opportune time? He'll go to the top side and cross him over.
Contact as they work their way to turn 9. McKeithen shuffle back. Perez comes out of the final corner, and it's Daniel Perez who starts things off with a Heat Race victory. How about that? McKeithen, the second wheeler. He's adrift in 3rd, but a big battle to end it out. That's the first time all day anyone's held it side by side coming out of the mini bowl and into the main bowl, and it's set up a perfect run for the win.
Incredible fight indeed, and we still got some more exciting racing action still to come.
So we'll take a break. Perez, McKeithen, Wheeler, Corsi, and Thompson, your top 5. You're watching Kart Chasing for coverage of Apex Karting here from Jacksonville.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR, with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
So in motorsport, every detail matters, but we need to try to avoid using expensive and fragile sensors. So I'm gonna show you how we do it. So this is a comparison between the sensor, pink curve, and the accelerometer in blue. So we can read how hard the driver is applying the brake and how easy he's modulating his release in order to understand how the driver is braking. The sensor costs hundreds of dollars and the accelerometer is already in your dash, so you don't need to buy anything.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on my website right now and join the online course today.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels. directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
One thing that is really nice about the Micron 6 is with this new IAME platform, now they put an embedded channel with the steering wheel angle. This channel is really nice to use if you're trying to understand how the drivers are behaving through the corners, if it's oversteering, understeering. But you need to be careful, because we're measuring this at 100 times per second.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's action as we continue on with some racing. Are you enjoying the racing? Hit that like button, because the minis are about to hit the like button that's shaped like a gas pedal. Green flag's out. Mo Stowers leads the field over the line. Stasio followed by Greer, Hall, Martinenko. Ford and Firestein did not set times in qualifying and are not on the racetrack. So we begin things off for the minis with Stowers trying to run away from the rest of the pack. In fact, the top two are breaking away quickly, Taylor.
They certainly are, Justin, as Stowers is going to try to lead the charge once again as he is looking to do so. Drivers work their way down the back straightaway. Here comes a big run by Lai and Anastasio as they try to work their way through. And then you got Greer, who's got quite a bit of work to do, who had such a good run in the Briggs Mini category this morning. You know, he's wanting to try to keep that momentum up and have a shot of going for a top 3 finish.
We'll see how well he does here today, Anastasio in particular. First time really seeing him today. He has his own YouTube channel, in fact, where he's been called the 7-year-old racing prodigy. With a lot of podium runs, he is up from Texas, in fact, where he comes up for the neck of the woods, including a couple times doing well in the Texas Sprint Racing Series. Correct me if I'm wrong, Taylor.
Seeing him run later on this year when we get set for the Texas Sprint Racing Series. As you see, team members trying to give a little bit of coaching to some of our young drivers. As Andrew Anastasio tries to charge and make the run to Bo Stowers as they come through out of the mini bolt and over towards the back half of the course.
Right now, with 5 minutes to work with, it looks like Stowers is in well command of this one. One of our largest leads of the day, in fact, so far. Most of the leads today, give the field credit, regardless of field size, but the nature of this track have stayed relatively close. You know, there's the potential, you know, to see separations, but here today, you can just see the gaps are holding firm, and we've seen everyone be able to stay within distance of somebody for a battle. Stowers is actually growing the gap to the widest anyone's had to say this is your gap here today, which says, I think, a testament to how strong the racing here is here with the race in Apex competition today.
I have to agree with you on that, Justin. As we watch Stowers continue to stretch out that race lead, he has been setting fast time after fast time, lap after lap. But my question is going to be, how is that kart going to be towards the end of the run here? I mean, you always love to be the rabbit at the early part of the race, but for me personally, I'd rather have where that kart is still good at the end of the race, where it counts. And we'll see how that fares for both Stowers. The thing is, hoping he has a big enough lead before time expires to where he can maintain it and keep Andrew Anastasio and Hank Lai behind.
Now, one of the drivers I'm a little surprised about in this side of things, Ruben Greer, not able to get into the drafting range this race. Ruben Greer, so far today, hasn't been the same that we've seen the pre-final and final over at Noah Motorsports Park. See the top 3 all on the racetrack, then you go back to the next group where Greer's at. Just hasn't been the same wheelhouse. Remember, he's raced here a couple weeks ago. He was in the top 3 when it came to CKA Winter Nationals. Greer does have the ability we've seen earlier on in the 206s But that 120 machine, 3 seconds off the lead, is not what you expect from Greer.
No, it certainly is not the case. I was expecting more from Greer as well, expecting his pace to be significant as what we saw in the Briggs race earlier today. So, gotta say, they're probably going to go back to the drawing board a little bit to see what they need to improve upon for heat race number 2.
I know every time we say the word drawing board, my thought is kind of, I wonder what the demand at the drawing board store is here today for all those strategies.
With all the strategies you got planned here to try to make sure you either finish strong or win the race, there's a lot to be added into your story, I have to say, Justin, as we watch the battle for second between Anastasio and Lai, who are swapping around for position. Anastasio still maintains that second spot, but I gotta say, Hank Lai has been putting a good run right now, running a little bit faster than Andrew Anastasio.
Yeah, his personal best is the same as Anastasio, but let's see the close-up between the two of them. Here comes the move, 4-second spot. Line now goes to the inside as they zip on by the trees. Stowers well in command. As behind them, take a look at how things settle in. No changes for position. But for how long is the huge question. With a minute 90 to go, you'd have to think the 148 gotta have to take another swing, go again and again. You know, like a battering ram.
Yep, as we see these drivers swinging around, seeing what they can do. Back and forth with positioning, back and forth with closing or gaining the gap between our competitors with a minute to go plus 2 laps. I'd say about 4 laps to go for our competitors as they cross the line here.
Down to under a minute to work with here on the clock. Continue to see things gust around here too as conditions pick up. A little bit of a wider line for Anastasio. Trying to make sure he gets the better angle for the Bulls. Looks to try and set things up. Look at how windy it's getting. The wind gusts and the projections earlier today, we're expecting it as high as 20 miles an hour. We're at that range. Doesn't matter for the 148. He breezes on by. Able to score his way to second. Hank Lai now up to P2 with 3 laps to go.
Can we see anything happen as Lai tries to hold on the hard charge? Anastasio's got to find a way to recover here as he tries to look around to find the gap and make it stick for him. He's got the back straightaway, though, to help him out as Bo Stowers continues to stretch out that race lead over 2.5 seconds as Anastasio gets the run. Gonna keep pushing. Will he tuck to the inside just yet? No, he's gonna be patient and wait for the final time.
We're looking at the winds correctly too. Bigger draft effect going to be coming into play. That headwind going to factor in for this fight that extra little bit here with 2 laps to go. Anastasio right now all over the rear bumper for a split second. Making the way out of the mini bulls. Watch the hands here. This wind going to be a bit of a twitchiness cause coming out of the bull section. Looks pretty smooth this time. Coming up to the white flag this time through. Anastasio elects to wait and doesn't want to force it. Coming up to 1 to go, Taylor.
Yeah, I think he's going to be waiting till the back straightaway on that final lap to make that pass work if he can keep the momentum up in his favor. Nope, just as I say that, he's going to try to fight it here in the first couple of corners as they come to the mini bowl. And look to the inside, can't get to that run that he needs as they come down towards the bowl for the final time in heat race number 1.
Final time through, battle's not done. Anastasio gets the better cut coming out of the bowl. Gonna flatline it on the inside, side by side, blowing through the wind gusts. Covered off, Lai tries to cross it over, couldn't get the angle. Stowers gets the win. Gets it by dominating fashion. Anastasio gets second over Lai. Then it's Greer, Hall, and Marty Ninko, who are the other drivers in the minis. So Stowers, dominating effort here in the class. Able to run away, and this is going to be very helpful in the points. Keep in mind, compared to Greer, it was a 30-point deficit coming into this race, Taylor. That deficit going to go down a few points because, remember, the max is 50 for the heats.
Yeah, so it's still going to be a big help for both hours here, but Greer, be careful, and hopefully he can find a way to recover in deep race number 2.
Let's see for these drivers as everyone makes their way off the racetrack. Leaves just one more race to go here. And the interesting thing is, part of those that were on your entry list, Tom Kemper Jr. did not remember setting any times here in that class, and that was a conversation point here for the championship, was especially with the expectation of this was to there. We'll talk about more of that in a second. We'll take a break. You're watching Kart Chaser.
What's really nice about the Micro 6 is with this new IAME platform, now they put an embedded channel with the steering wheel angle. This channel is really nice to use if you're trying to understand how the drivers are behaving through the corners, if it's oversteering, understeering. But you need to be careful. Because we're measuring this at 100 times per second, when you look on the data, it's very, very noisy. So when you look on the data, we have here the steering wheel angle raw output in blue, and then we have to apply a filter to treat this data, and then that's the filter in red.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
'26 Cup Kart South Series, February 20th through 22nd at Finish Line Karting. March 20th through 22nd at Daytona International Speedway. April 24th through 26th at Music City Karting. And May 29th through 31st at Bushnell Motorsports Park.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Those cat food marketing meetings definitely put in a lot of work. Cat food needs to sell itself and be marketed in multiple ways. In all seriousness, it's time to market the KA Juniors because Nyberg and Saraki are up on the front row with Johnson, Mars, Eslick, and Green in the top 6. Portnov and Burklow, followed by Petyan with Frazier. A lot of drivers having some issues in the back of the group, and that includes Eslick, will be towards the tail. Field is green, and already battling hard for second.
It's bad enough that you spin out on the opening on your warm-up lap, but to do it twice and now a third time for them, it's definitely not a good look. As one driver also going to end his day, that's the 850 machine out here on the opening lap. Tough break there.
That's Barfield who hit the barrier that time. So all of a sudden, chaos abound. Well, except to the very point for now, as it looks like the thought is, let's work together. You know who doesn't have that same memo? Nyberg. Signals from Mars to work together, try and draft away. Nyberg's more focused on the defense. He leads the opening lap, but will the 856 get on stage here, or will Green say, I'm in the draft, let's take the page and work with my teammate?
I mean, if I was Kai Mars, you got the pace right now. I mean, you got to be able to work your way through, and you have enough of a gap where if you fall back to go pick up your teammates, such as with Bowman Green, you're going to lose more time to Nyberg. So might as well just hope Green catches up eventually, and you work with Nyberg to where you can find that opening in the closing stages to take over the race lead where it counts. So right now your top two starting to break away, as just as I say that, Cameron Johnson though is starting to zip his way through the field as he sets fastest lap of the race.
Johnson had the starting position, just didn't have the good start. And having a good start is critical. We've seen how busy things got for him, and already having a popcorn seat to the battle for the race lead. Mars looking for the point. Backed out of it, didn't like the angle. Kart also shuffled a little bit with Green, Saraki, and Johnson. Keep an eye on Saraki and Johnson, who are teammates here in regards to their partnerships here today with Franklin Motorsports. So again, you have one partnership split up, one partnership together here, a part of these respective packs to close up 7/10 to the leaders.
A little bit of lap traffic in front of the field right there. That's the 850 machine of Callan Barfield, leaders will make short work of quickly as they try to negotiate through the traffic. And so far, they will do that quickly and work their way around. But so far, Nyberg just now starting to stretch out that race lead a little bit over Kai Mars.
They'll try to take off and run away a little bit yet again, as we were seeing before with the signals. But Saraki seems to be having a decent drive so far here, and so far has had decent pace. For a lot of the Greenmark side, one of the Wisconsin-based drivers has some more dives as they've closed up the gap. That's by Johnson. Johnson able to zip ahead as we come up to about halfway through.
Looking through the field right now, as we watch Nyberg now starting to get into the clutches of Johnson. Saraki has closed in on this battle for the race lead. It's now going to be a 4-horse race. Don't forget about Bowen Green. If he can just find that little extra, he could be a factor as well. But so far, Cameron Johnson, he'll look to the inside of Kai Mars. He wants second position. That killer Kart going to take it and move on.
Going to continue to try and claw ahead. Pick up. And Johnson now tries a little bit of a dart inside. Doesn't get the run he's looking for on the angle. Cameron Johnson still getting the push from Mars for the time being as they sort out. Of course, Johnson, a mini Swift champion in Route 66 competition. Known for getting a win actually over the summertime at Millwright Raceway. Also competed in the Florida Winter Tour 2025. He's right now amongst those, getting elbowed out of the way as Mars got the tires bumped.
It's time to get the elbows out here for the KA Juniors, because I gotta say, Kai Mars is gonna fight his way through. He's got some pace, but the problem is, does he have the time? As we see these two battling, that's gonna allow Cameron Johnson to try to slip away.
Yeah, right now things getting uber aggressive here in amongst this pack, coming at 2 minutes to go. One of our stronger battles so far for the race lead. A little bit of a move for Mars. Nothing doing. But now the question will be, where does the next move come? It seems like every time you think, oh, it's not going to come here, it'll come there. It's a lot of people are making that move in the mini bowl in particular, surprising drivers as they go for the arc.
Certainly is the case here, Justin, as we watch. Johnson get that little bit of that extra run. Nyberg, though, closing in on Mars, and Saraki, as Nyberg and Saraki work together to get around Kai Mars. They're going to slingshot past him and move Kai Mars to fourth position.
Another swing, another shuffle of the pack. Under 90 seconds to go on the clock, plus the 2 laps to work with. Johnson tries to maintain the buffer up at the front of the field, though, but Nyberg looking to hunt. Where will the trap pull him this time? We've already seen some big swerves. This time through, no one's taking the peak. Not willing to jump too early here. Saraki now trying to push the top 3 away. Now going for the swap on Johnson.
Through here with 40 seconds to go, so it could be about 3 laps left for our leaders as they try to negotiate coming through the mini bowl. And I gotta say, Saraki's got some pace. He's gonna try and challenge and see if he can hunt down Cameron Johnson before this is all said and done.
Will there be enough time? I think there's time. It's the question on how they race each other amongst the 2 of these drivers with the way things are shaping up. Nyberg have to find some competition, so to speak, to close up this deficit. 8/10 at the stripe, 3 laps to go. Nyberg saying, I'm faster, nearly chopped the nose of Saraki into the grass. Still bumping.
Still beating and banging, and they're going to continue to do that. Nyberg will get that spot as they head down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Cameron Johnson's just going to say, see you later, gentlemen, as Nyberg goes on the defensive. Another bump coming from Saraki.
Saraki's still trying to get around, and Nyberg gets pushed in the grass. Pushed into the concrete on the wide angle. Now to fourth goes the machine of Nyberg. All well, 2 laps to go. This is exactly what Johnson wants to see. The gap is 1.5 seconds.
A lot can still happen here as they work their way through with these 2 laps to go. Can Saraki close it? It's going to be a little bit tougher. Kaimar is going to try to work with them as they push their way down the back straightaway. 1 more lap next time by as Nyberg tries to see if he can go back and try to get into the top 3.
Here we go. White flag is already out. Final time around for Johnson. The gap continues to stretch away. Right now the battle's not done for Mars and company though. Mars looking to try and get himself some solid points to set himself up well for the pre-finals tomorrow. Get himself on the right foot for track position. Nyberg not close enough to send. Right now, Saraki chooses the middle of the road. Mars tries the angle, tries the cut, makes contact. Spun around is Saraki. Johnson takes the checker flag, but Saraki falls down the order. Mars and Nyberg get on the podium, but Saraki falls all the way down to about 7th.
Not a good look. We'll probably see how that all plays out if there's any penalties given out there. But Cameron Johnson will be a good way to kick off the action for his racing here today.
So Johnson, Mars, Nyberg, Green, Portnoy, Price jumps to 6th. Saraki in 7th. Petyan in 8th. Burklow drops to 9th. Saunders gets the top 10. A part of this field in K.A. Jr. Also in the field was Eslick, who did not recover the lost positions. Frazier and Kumar Barfield rest. So we're into a 12-minute break here for our drivers. So we'll take the opportunity to step a little bit aside here. Allow the drivers to reset and refresh because they have another set of heats to go for the next hour or so to determine where they'll be starting in pre-finals tomorrow. You're watching Kart Chaser for today's coverage from the North Florida Kart Club.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
We all know that drivers, they learn faster when it's visually shown to them side by side what's the difference, right? So with the Smarty Can, every time we put on the data, we're able to see the drivers side by side on the track. So here, for example, you can see that Diego is taking a curb and our other driver's not. You see that one driver's oversteering and the other driver's pretty much straight coming out of the corner. By showing this to them, they're able to absorb faster. And you can even play the videos simultaneously so they can see how they're performing through the track.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on my website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental cart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make weight. Okay, you're good.
I'm sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
How the f did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
Cool features that Race Studio 3 has that people normally don't know about it. The track map on the background. So if you just connect your computer to the internet, you can come up here and click on this Google Earth icon, and it will pull the background from the Google Earth into your GPS data.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Kart Zone is officially open. We're America's first true karting dealership, built by racers, for racers. From your first chassis to managing a full team, our experts guide you every step of the way. At Kart Zone, you'll find top-tier products from your most trusted brands. We believe in performance without compromise. Your karting journey starts here. Visit kartzonena.com.
Cool features that Race Studio 3 has that people normally don't know about it. If you look on the bottom left, I have the weather showing my ambient temperature, pressure, humidity, and even the wind direction and wind speed. To be able to get this, you gotta create an account on the AIM website and just log in. If you log in and have internet on, it will pull the weather from the previous year of sessions that you have.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
excellence aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR, with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
So in motorsport, every detail matters, but we need to try to avoid using expensive and fragile sensors. So I'm gonna show you how we do it. So this is a comparison between the sensor, pink curve, and the accelerometer in blue. So we can read how hard the driver is applying the brake and how easy he's modulating his release in order to understand how the driver is braking. The sensor costs hundreds of dollars and the accelerometer is already in your dash, so you don't need to buy anything.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on my website right now and join the online course today.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
One thing that is really nice about the Micro 6 is with this new IAME platform, now they put an embedded channel with the steering wheel angle. This channel is really nice to use if you're trying to understand how the drivers are behaving through the corners, if it's oversteering, understeering. But you need to be careful. Because we're measuring this at 100 times per second, when you look on the data, it's very, very noisy. So when you look on the data, we have here the steering wheel angle raw output in blue, and then we have to apply a filter to treat this data, and then that's the filter in red.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on my website right now and join the online course today.
The 2026 Cup Kart South Series, February 20th through 22nd at Finish Line Karting, March 20th through 22nd at Daytona International Speedway, April 24th through 26th at Music City Karting, and May 29th through 31st at Bushnell Motorsports Park.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico? Non-GMO? Gluten-free? Kosher? Magnesium? B12? B6?
Yeah, it's good.
B5? Biotin? And 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's action for Apex Karting. Championships continue for the Southeast as we continue to rumble forward. Drivers already quickly setting things up for our second heat of the day. It's the KA Masters that will set things up here. As we are set to go, green flag is out, we're underway. Only 3 karts here, Taylor. Looks like we will not have one of our competitors from Heat 1 take part. Remember, James Insko had some issues earlier, and Insko is not on track.
Yeah, so right now it's going to be the Carapolettis versus Brant Estes here in this stage, and already Kim Carapoletti taking over the second spot as quickly as possible ahead of Brant Estes to allow Scott Carapoletti to run away here in the early stages of your Heat race number 2.
Yeah, right now, Scott trying to maintain the buffer, and there goes Kim trying to hold on to second, but Estes takes it away. No issues for Brant. Remember, Brant took away the win in the closing stages in the last race. This time around, looking for a repeat effect. Just the first minute burned off the clock so far. We know it's a bit of a slow burner in terms of the preparation. We know from the 407 here.
Is doing an incredible job, but Brant Estes gets a good run down the back straightaway, closing that gap quicker and quicker as he's now under half a second behind your race leader as they come through the final couple of corners. Kim Carapoletti starting to fall off the pace just a little bit. Let's see what Brant can do here as they come through the first couple of corners. He sets fastest lap.
Right now trying to dig. Estes is right now right on the cusp of trying to get around the 406 machine. 407 on time for Estes here today. Estes pushed the tempo a little bit early, or will he wait and be patient? Kim Carapoletti is losing touch right now to the rest of these drivers. And as this is all going on, by the way, noticing as the day has sprinted on, we mentioned the wind's picked up. It's got a lot more cloudier here too, as we're expecting now with the sky closing up. The temperatures should start dropping yet again, Taylor, after reaching the high of, I don't know, low 50s.
Yeah, low 50s indeed, and we're going to start dropping temperatures. We're now just about to get into the 40-degree temperature mark for some of our drivers here today. And it's only going to get colder as the night goes on. As our producer is letting us know that our poor cameramen out there are freezing to death out there, so we've got to say hard-working cameramen as well as our track officials, we thank you guys enough for all of the hard work that you're having to endure out in the cold. I can say, Justin, last week when I was in Speed Sports for the Road Tax race, when it was raining and cold, it was a tough time running a camera out there.
Yeah, imagine if you're a part of those drivers or a part of these crew members or part of our crews here. You lift them up into the sky, right to where it's very breezy, 20-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, you're going to be very cold. There are several layers being worn by crew members around here for good reason with the cold today. So, as we go on though, halfway through the race on the clock at least, nothing doing up at the front. And remember, to think about this big picture-wise for the championship, Estes, basically with firm grip of it with him here today, all it takes is an appearance at AMP, and it could get interesting on how things close out to secure a Southeast championship. And consistency is championships, but also being there is a part of the championship, Taylor.
Absolutely. Consistency will determine who wins the championship here in the Apex South Division. And of course, it's going to determine who will be the winners and champions for the overall Apex when we do the Grand Finals in October. So, if consistency, having a fast kart, and making sure you finish up towards the front of the field will be critical. As Brant Estes is just settling in, 2.5 minutes to go. Kim Carapoletti starting to close back in to maybe join the fight and put on a show here, but Brant Estes thought about looking to the outside, can't do it.
Nothing doing still in amongst this as they still scrap it back and forth in terms of the line so far here today. try and sort things out as quick as possible. Keep in mind, Scott, amongst those that have had experiences, finished back, you have to go back to 2020, Stars Championship. Scott and Kim were second and third in the X30 Masters Championship at the time. So you're talking about competitors that have been around, as we said, for a long time. We talked about for Kim as far back as 2000. And when you have the Masters, it brings a wide net of drivers and a wide range of ages once you get past about 30.
Here as we watch this fight between Carapelletti and Estes. Remember, Brant, a little bit patient, saw the opening and made it work for him to get the win. Carapelletti trying to see what he can do to hold off the hard charge as they work their way through the first couple of corners. Looking at right around another 4 laps to go, maybe 5, as they work their way around the circuit as they come through the bowl.
I think it might be actually coming to 3 based on the minutes here. We're running 37-second lap times. All of them dead even, by the way. Kim Carapelletti has not fallen off like the last race where it ended up being a 2-3 second distance to the next kart. This race, Kim has got the adjustment right, has been able to match it up and adjust the speed and how the lines are being taken here to be able to improve. No mistakes, no bobbles, no issues, Taylor.
A perfect scenario right now for Scott Carapelletti, and he wants to try to keep it that way here in these closing seconds of the race as they head down the back straightaway. This is where we saw Brant Estes make some incredible passes here as out throwing Kim Carapelletti. She's got a good run. She may try to challenge for second.
It'll be very close on what we get on the board here. 1 second, 0 second, 2 laps to go. That was by about maybe 50, 100 feet. Now Scott Carapelletti looking to park the lines here and hold firm. Estes taking the shower line to the concrete. Still couldn't get the cut though for the bull. Tried the higher groove. Does that work? Actually it does. Estes builds up the run to the inside. Side by side. Up to turn 8. Estes takes it away. Coming up to the white flag. Making the way on through here as Estes zips his way ahead. Will Scott Carapelletti get the chance he's looking for on the rebound? We've seen last time he got past, it took him a lap to respond. He's going to need a massive run here. Estes blocks it off to the inside. They zoom on through the leaves. Now the angle being taken by Estes. Scott Carapelletti's looking for the cut for turn 9. Couldn't get it to stick. The diamond line doesn't work, but the drag race might. Instead, it's Estes who does hold on. Scott and Kim, second and third. Estes does hold on by 67 one-thousandths of a second.
Great run by everyone here as Brant Estes sweeps it once again with the heat races, looking to get some much valuable points.
So Brant Estes sweeps the heat races. Scott Carapelletti sweeps second. Kim Carapelletti will sweep the third position amongst your heat races today. So the first of Heat 2's rotation gets completed here. And as these drivers prepare for the next part of today, the micros will take the racetrack where knives were height are ready to duke it out yet again in our next pairing of drivers. And those drivers, through a lot of haymakers, it's going to come down to the end of the run though. If Spencer Height has been able to make an adjustment to adjust where the top end of the speed comes in, where it came in the mid-run.
Critical to see here what Spencer can learn from his previous heat race to try and find his way up towards the front of the field again. But I gotta say, Maddox has got the pace as we get set.
Take a commercial break. We'll be back after this.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
We all know that drivers, they learn faster when it's visually shown to them side by side what's the difference, right? So with the Smarty Can, every time we put on the data, we're able to see the drivers side by side on the track. So here, for example, you can see that Diego is taking a curb and our other driver's not. You see that one driver's oversteering and the other driver's pretty much straight coming out of the corner. By showing this to them, they're able to absorb faster. And you can even play the videos simultaneously so they can see how they're performing through the track.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on my website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental kart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make way. Okay, you're good.
I'm sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
How the f did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
Cool features that Race Studio 3 has that people normally don't know about it. The track map on the background. So if you just connect your computer to the internet, you can come up here and click on this Google Earth icon, and it will pull the background from the Google Earth into your GPS data.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on my website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
through. Welcome back, everyone, to today's coverage as we get set to go once again. Justin Prince with you, Taylor Burst alongside as the Micros are the ones now on the racetrack. It's Knives up at the front, Height followed by Valetas, Jenny, and Pridemore are the entries here in this class. Top two pulled away last time through. Let's see what happens this time. As Valetas looks to get on the loud pedal. Gas is on for the race leaders, and they're bumping already for the point. Height immediately takes the lead as they make their way to the start and finish line.
Maddox Knives will try to work his way around to keep up the pace as he tries to go around the outside.
I thought Height was going to miss the corner with how high he just took it, though, going to the mini bowl. That shows how cold the track is here, Taylor, for the grip level, because we talk about with cold tires, in some classes it might be, oh, you have more grip. No, it's less grip with the cold tires in theory with the karts. Back and forth they go for the lead.
Here they go back to where they left off from the first heat race and the two heat races earlier this morning in the Briggs category. And once again, Spencer Height tries to see if he can hold on to the race lead. But will Maddox Knives try to be the smart, play it smart, and find his way and make the pass later on in the race? We'll find out as Maddox tries to close the gap. Spencer Height being the rabbit and running away right now in the early stages.
See how the fight fares out this time in this one. The goal is set from the family members from Knives. Follow the rabbit is what the team has commented here. So I'm guessing Height is the rabbit in this case.
I would have
you
to
can
say
see.
So.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's that mindset of chasing down the opponent. We talked about this earlier. But in theory, it comes down to, as well, how well you're able to time the runs. The thing is, though, Height seems to be really good on the short run with the clean space.
He certainly is, but the thing is, can he keep that up? He's struggling a little bit with the late run speed. So I gotta say, he's gotta be careful with that, of how much he's gonna run and burn up those tires as they come across the line. Maddox Knives starting to close the gap a little bit as he is consistently setting fast laps.
Now right now, 40.5s for Knives so far as they go. As right now, with the close up, needs to be there long term to be able to set up for the race lead. We know these two like to duke it on out. It's the nature of the way the Micros work. There's the move for the race lead. Earlier today, it was passing the mini bowl, then pass down the back straightaway before turn 8. A little bit more nuance so far. It's past this time for the back straightaway. Nothing doing in the mini bowl section between the two of them. As Height needs to reset, this is going to take a little bit yet again with the way the wind's gusting compared to earlier.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult now as Knives now starts to pull away further and further. Beautiful run. He has trouble for two competitors who have made contact. That's Valadez and Cheney. Tough break for those two. They were having such a good fight for third spot, and that will move Pridemore, I believe, up into third as we go back to the race leaders.
Yep, there goes Height on the inside as we've seen. Taking it off and away. Back and forth again. Signals come through. Wide gap is the signal from the parents on the fence side this time through. Nearly both of them taking it wide, having issues holding on to the grip. They pushed nearly off the mini bowl. Now a setup for Knives to set things up for the cut.
Running out of time as there goes side by side down the back straightaway, trying to see who will be the bravest of those two as they try to send it down into the corner. Maddox Knives will gain the spot and retake the race lead.
Back and forth and go like a pendulum swing. We continue to see them go back and forth. Height Usually likes this section, doesn't take it. Will wait until the back straightaway. It looks like this time through. Pridemore can confirm 6 seconds up for the third position. So Caden Pridemore doing decent. Well, never mind. Pridemore just fell back to 18 seconds. So that gap went by pretty quickly after having a big margin, it looks like. As we see the leaders duke it out again. Height to the inside. Up to the point.
Back up in front of the field here as he will try to hold on with 2 minutes left to go, plus the additional 2 laps. And Spencer Height still setting a significant pace right now. Was about 0.3 of a second faster than Maddox Knives last time around. So Maddox got to be careful with how much he's slipping and sliding around with this track.
Indeed. Let's go indeed, say the fans. Coming up to 90 seconds to work with. Knives on the plan. There's the close. Now the charge to the bumper. Nothing close enough though for a send. Stayed within a 10, then there's a spin! Did Knives hit the back end of Height? Lost it into turn 9 as it snapped around.
Not what you want to have happen. That's going to be detrimental there, and that will allow Spencer Height to just set to cruise control in a sense. No need to try to overextend those tires, and also make sure he can take care of his equipment during this stage of the race.
Trying to get clarification if that was contact or not, but Height has well control of this race now all of a sudden. Just needs to make no mistakes to be able to go on through. 7.8 seconds was the margin after the spin. 40 seconds to work with, 3 laps to go for Height. Looks to try and secure himself another win in this series in a heat race. Again, your micro points leader now into this event. Only driver so far to be in all the events so far out of the 2. Now gets himself an opportunity to add another 50 Ps to the board.
I gotta say, this is gonna be fun to watch how this championship will play out when we head to Atlanta. Yes, we take the best 2 finishes for these drivers. So, of course, for a driver like you see with Knives, if he shows up for Atlanta, he's gonna try to see what he can do to challenge with Spencer Height. But Spencer Height going in the right direction right now.
2 to go. Gap is large. Right now, it's 10 seconds now the margin. Silver Knives was setting up pretty well to go back and forth, still with Height, determine the race winner here. But all of a sudden, bam, around it goes in turn 9. The race goes from great to what could have been. Still going to be second place, don't get me wrong, Taylor. That's still going to be a tie with Height on the points for who starts up at the front of the field tomorrow for the pre-final. But you kind of wish you got the win to secure it outright compared to Height on the final lap here.
Absolutely, and that's what's going to be interesting about this, because I got to say, with how this will change out, it will be interesting to see who can come out on top after all this is said and done. But Spencer Height, if he's closing in on Pridemore to put him a lap down, it'll be to see who can respond in the pre-final and final where those points really start to pick up enough.
Checker flag waving. It's Height coming down the front straight away, taking the win. Getting it done by more than 10 seconds over Knives. Cheney does hold on to 3rd, or will that be the case? Melendez is right with Cheney. They were 19 seconds back at the time of the last scoring loop. It appears, yes, that's the reason of the hesitation. 2:33 does take it away from Cheney on the final lap. These some of the drivers coming across the other side of the circuit. Pridemore just holds on to the lead lap. Spencer Height gets it done here, Taylor. Another win in his 2 classes combined.
Another win where it counts. That's going to be critical for Spencer Height as he continues to stride to stretch out his points lead. And if we get set for tomorrow, and that would conclude the action for our micros.
having a really good race here today. These drivers will now prepare for the seniors to hit the circuit. Let's take a break. We come back. The winds continue to blow. You're watching today's action from Jacksonville.
Kart Zone is officially open. We're America's first true karting dealership, built by racers, for racers. From your first chassis to managing a full team, our experts guide you every step of the way. At Kart Zone, you'll find top-tier products from your most trusted brands. We believe in performance without compromise. Your karting journey starts here. Visit kartzonena.com.
Cool features that Race Studio 3 has that people normally don't know about it. If you look on the bottom left, I have the weather showing my ambient temperature, pressure, humidity, and even the wind direction and wind speed. To be able to get this, you got to create an account on the AIM website and just log in. If you log in and have internet on, it will pull the weather from the previous year of sessions that you have.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now and join the online course today.
Let's go race.
Come on, man. Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR, with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
So in motorsport, every detail matters, but we need to try to avoid using expensive and fragile sensors. So I'm gonna show you how we do it. So this is a comparison between the sensor, pink curve, and the accelerometer in blue. So we can read how hard the driver is applying the brake and how easy he's modulating his release in order to understand how the driver is braking. The sensor costs hundreds of dollars and the accelerometer is already in your dash, so you don't need to buy anything.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now and join the online course today.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
One thing that is really nice about
Green flag is out. We're underway, and the seniors make their way on through to the finish line. As more spins at the back yet again.
Tough break there for several drivers as they are still trying to negotiate, and already Daniel Perez has got the race lead by a little bit of a margin. Henry Wheeler, though, will drop back a little bit. Christopher McKeithen, don't even see him up there in the mix. There he is, a couple of tenths back as Henry Wheeler tries to close in onto the back bumper of Perez.
There is the work being put in already as Wheeler tries to use his wheel, make some moves, but as we know, McKeithen, lightning quick, doesn't have to work as hard this time to be able to chip away a gap. Already, some of the drivers with some of the spins halfway behind the circuit, including one going to the highway. Is that the same one from earlier? Yeah, I believe that is another one for Thompson.
Thompson definitely not having a good time of it right now as he has quite a bit of work to do being in the last position as we watch the battle for the race lead between Perez, Wheeler, and McKeithen. McKeithen trying to keep pace up with your top two, but Perez just having the run he is doing so far, looking to sweep the weekend.
Specifically in the heat races to set up very well for the pre-final tomorrow. Remember, those pre-finals are going to be very much so without grip likely because you're talking sub 50 degrees Fahrenheit to emphasize. By the way, again on the grounds, it listed in extreme cold warning's been in effect for the past little bit. That advisory is until 7 a.m. tomorrow. In fact, it is a cold advisory for wind as well. Extreme cold warning, a freeze warning for the evening. A lot of cold, so if you're on the property, bundle up. If you're in Florida, bundle up. If you're anywhere in the world, I may as well say be safe and bundle up, I guess you can say. In our words, be safe. All while these drivers will have McKeithen not playing it safe. He wants to go for the second spot immediately.
Already goes for P2 and gets the spot away from Henry Wheeler and now sets his sight on Perez with a beautiful pass into the final corners here as they cross the line. And so far, Perez got a little bit of breathing room. The first time we've really seen him get that much space that has allowed for him to try to run away. But McKeithen has consistently been the fastest kart week throughout both heat races. So I gotta say, he's gonna try everything he can to try and chase down Perez before it's all said and done.
Give credit to the field much the way, by the way, looking through how things sorted out here. Majority of the field has raced respectfully. There are a couple penalty bulletins that we will touch upon later on, but for the most part, no issues. The only penalty in the KA Seniors was in race one, Austin Thompson, who had a contact for 5 seconds. Everybody else has kept it clean. We have also been perfectly on schedule to give credit to the officials here today because I will say in one of the other races today, Taylor, there was a pack of dogs in Houston that held things up in RMC competition. We didn't have any dogs hit the racetrack today.
Well, I will say that's kind of surprising for that. I mean, we've had some other interesting situations that has caused us to be delayed in some of our Kart Chaser broadcasts, I will say, so not a surprise for that to happen, but we'll keep an eye on the action here as Perez continues to not really gain time to pull away from McKeithen, but has kind of kept it at a plateau. McKeithen's start is trying to close in, but not making major gains right now, so keep an eye on seeing what he can do as they come through the final couple of corners here with about 2.5 minutes to go.
McKeithen in hunt mode. Let's close up 2/10 to be able to set up for a pass. Did set the fastest lap of the race last time by, albeit by about 4/100ths of a second. McKeithen ready to pounce. By the way, good recovery from a DNF in a race one of the day here, Taylor Forgets. Currently in 5th. Remember, spot off at the start of Heat 1. Immediately pull it off afterwards. Good bounce back for them. You're in this one, 7 seconds off your leader. But 2 minutes to go. Up front, still staying station, nothing else playing. It's the same musical beat, once again on your top 40 hits.
Absolutely, no major changes, and now it looks like Perez is starting to keep that lead and start to grow it a little bit. He ran a tick faster than McKeithen as they head down the back straightaway once again. Keeping an eye on a couple of other battles throughout the field. There's a good fight for 7th between Jacob Spencer, Anthony Lewis, and Alex Zucilio, who are having a good fight as we watch still the battle for Perez continuing to just keep McKeithen at bay little bit by little bit more. As they come through, we're looking at right around 3 laps, maybe 4 laps to go.
Right now, this field taking it very cautiously. This has been one of the calmer races of the day yet again. Is the oil, by the way, marked down to the 9th position. Lost a little bit of ground in that Hornet's Nest, half a track back from some of the others. McKeithen dropped the tire just about, off to where a lot of the runoff was, back for CKA Winter Nationals. Actually cost him a lot of ground for the setup for the mini bowl because he lost momentum in first place. 33 seconds to work with.
33 seconds to work with. That's still plenty of time to see what he can try to accomplish as they head down the back straightaway. Perez, for the first time, takes a look over the shoulder. Don't want to be doing that too much. Makes an adjustment on the carburetor. Now goes on the defensive to keep McKeithen from making a pass on the inside.
Still looking to dart around. 3 laps to go, this time through. Here comes McKeithen's poke. Has to reset, try to go towards the outside. Now look at this. We've seen one time today an outside move work for the bull. It doesn't stick this time to take away that inside groove, but McKeithen tried it. Now defensive alignment time. Perez not leaving too much space. McKeithen thought about driving on the very edge of the pavement. That would have been bold. Instead, he resets. Now looks for another send. Had to back off again.
Now I got a question to see, does he have enough time to make it work here? Should be 2 laps to go for our leaders as they try to negotiate through the mini bowl, and Perez stretches out that lead by a little bit. That might be just enough of breathing room for him to try and win this second heat race.
This is going to require the perfect run. Wheeler comfortably in 3rd. Roussel did recover back to 4th from the spin we were talking about off the start, so that has gone perfectly for them. But now, 1 lap to go up on the video board screen. Will Perez be able to hold firm here? McKeithen looking hungry, looking to try and chip away. Nothing built up yet as they make their way to the bowl.
McKeithen's got 1 shot right here as they head down the back straightaway. Perez goes on the defensive, trying to make sure McKeithen cannot get to his inside. McKeithen pushes him down the back straightaway. Now tries to over under. A little nudge right there to the back bumper. He'll try to send it to the inside. Could not make it work. Daniel Perez looks to continue the streak here with another heat race victory.
Daniel Perez gets it done over McKeithen and Wheeler. Now gets in the top 5. Corsi in 6th. Lewis and Spencer get decent finishes. Also, those drivers just now are coming across the stripe, 7th and 8th respectively on the distance. Now a lot of the other drivers still trying to catch up to the pack as they are now across the stripe. Gassi coming away 9th, and Jacob Spencer round out the top 10. Pick up rubber. Head on into the pit lane, to the tech lane to get checked on out. Thoughts on that race here as Perez leads most of the way. In fact, believe it, the entire way. Those thoughts in a moment, actually, because we have 5 minutes worth of moments to think about that race while you're watching Kart Chaser.
What is really nice about the Micro 6 is with this new IAME platform, now they put an embedded channel with the steering wheel angle. This channel is really nice to use if you're trying to understand how the drivers are behaving through the corners, if it's oversteering, understeering. But you need to be careful. Because we're measuring this at 100 times per second, when you look on the data, it's very, very noisy. So when you look on the data, we have here the steering wheel angle raw output in blue, and then we have to apply a filter to treat this data, and then that's the filter in red.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
The 2026 Cup Kart South Series, February 20th through 22nd at Finish Line Karting, March 20th through 22nd at Daytona International Speedway, April 24th through 26th at Music City Karting, and May 29th through 31st at Bushnell Motorsports Park.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month.
Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and zero sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
We all know that drivers, they learn faster when it's visually shown to them side by side what's the difference, right? So with the Smarty Can, every time we put on the data, we're able to see the drivers side by side on the track. So here, for example, you can see that Diego is taking a curb and our other driver's not. You see that one driver's oversteering and the other driver's pretty much straight coming out of the corner. By showing this to them, they're able to absorb faster. And you can even play the videos simultaneously so they can see how they're performing through the track.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental kart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make way. Okay, you're good.
Sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
It's race time yet again. It's time for our next group to hit the racetrack. This time through, it's the Minis. Most Dowers dominated last race. He's on the pole. Lai, Anastasio, Paul, Martinenko are the 5 that set times. We're off and away with 6 drivers racing. Ruben Greer was set to the tail for this heat race. Now, keep in mind for the penalty side, there weren't any penalties, and Greer did bounce back to 4 for the last race. So watch for Greer to charge as the back half of the field fights hard.
Great fighting as Greer will find his way around a couple of drivers here to move up into the 4th spot as they work their way down the back straightaway. Anastasio tries to see if he can close the gap to himself and Stowers and see if he has a shot to take on charge and lead here in the heat race.
We'll see what's going to be in store here coming up already. Stowers running away from the field. Upwards and near 6/10. Greer has indeed got it up to 4th. Side by side for second. It leads to contact. Anastasio spins off the racetrack. Off the racing surface goes to 143. And all of a sudden, what was a good heat 1 is muddied with heat 2. Gonna put him a few spots back likely for Sunday.
Well, the good news is it's early. The bad news is he's got a lot of time to try to make up here, as there you saw him all the way at the back. But for Stowers, that gives him plenty of breathing room from Hank Lai, who is now going to start to fall back a little bit. The gap between them is about 1.2 seconds, and he was almost half a second faster than Hank there. So if he can continue this run, it's looking good for Stowers to sweep the mini action.
And it seems like his Kart is a rocket once you allow it in space here. Lai gonna have to dig pretty hard here. Ruben Greer showing good improvement compared to race 1, where it was a struggle to close up the couple seconds deficit. Seems to be chipping away pretty well at the 148. Last time by was your 10th off of the 148. But we might see some difference here. Let's see. This time through, they were dead even, in fact. So as the leader pulls away, Greer tries to chip away. Martinenko, by the way, keeping it clean so far, up in the 4th spot on the 155 Kart.
Doing everything he can here as they work their way around the circuit, and as they do so, Stowers continues to hold charge here, but Greer starting to close in on Lai Park as well. They're running similar lap times, but still going to be interesting to see what Ruben Greer can do.
It's going to require a lot of effort. But all that being said, we'll give a shout out to the 155 machine. We haven't talked too much about him today. Picked up a couple podiums in 2025. 8 years old, also was a bronze runner at one point in the AMP Championship Series. 2-time winner at Trackhouse Motorplex. In terms of some of the social followings on that side, and they race a fair bit, to say the very least. Their respective camp. See them trying to work behind all of this here. So, halfway through the race, there's, look at Greer. Greer trying to find a way to take away second, as this gap is about 7 kart lengths.
Field right now to see if there's any changes. Anastasio does get around Ryan Hall, so he's now back into the top 5 for the moment as he works his way down, as we watch Greer trying to close in on Lyle. And as they do so, he's going to just kind of taper off. It's not really major gain, but it's not also major fall off as he's starting to close the gap a little bit. Good run through the final couple of corners as they cross the line. The gap between them, 0.4 of a second.
Still not chipping away enough, per se. There's a lot of laps you can work with, yes, but thought is leave yourself some room for a couple opportunities. The tough thing is, you're able to get there, and we already know with these wins, it's getting tougher and tougher. You have debris now blowing into your face. You have basically a headwind they're dealing with, and it looks like, Lai says, the faster Ruben Greer is up to second.
Good pass there for Greer as we watch him work his way through. He's still 3.6 seconds back, and his lap times are still not within reach to where he can make a charge with how much time is left. It's trouble for Anastasia. No, that's Lyle Park in his Tony kart. Tough break for him. His kart stalls out, and end of day for him, for Hank Lyle.
Yeah, that's not great. That might explain why there was the let-go moment there previously. Stowers dominating this effort. Just driving ahead, keeping eyes forward here. Both Stowers doing a brilliant job, and we already know got the chance to celebrate with race victories last time out at NOLA. Looking to add to that here today. The win previously was in the 206s. A win in the IAME the IAME engine would definitely say he's got the skills, no matter the engine, to drive, to say the least.
Doing everything he can right now as we watch Stowers come across the line. A minute plus 2 laps to go. Gap still 4.4 seconds between himself and Ruben Greer, so it'll be interesting to see. I will say keep an eye on Andrew Anastasio as he is starting to make some major headway to catch up to Nazir. Gap between those two is 3.6 seconds and closing. The only problem is I don't know if he has enough time.
Coming up to 3 laps to go in this one. As we continue to chug our way on through, Martinenko, give credit, he is now on the podium, and Stasio still trying to close up what is a 4-second gap to get up to the 3rd position, by the way. Martinenko, a part of those drivers that took part in the racing action last week. We mentioned the club race here at North Florida Kart Club. They had a torrential downpour they had to deal with, Taylor. So that's the bright side. It's a lot more sunnier compared to what was a whirlwind of weather conditions to deal with last week to try and get some practice laps in and practice racing in.
Well, it's critical. I mean, especially with surprising how that was able to play out for some of our competitors in that race last week here. And I got to say, it's critical with how often that this track is run for some who are local here to this track. Every chance you can to go out here and race is going to help you for your club championship or for any time you come out here for any regional events that will make their way through.
Indeed here, coming up to what will be the white flag this time through for Stowers. 5.2 seconds is the margin. Here's the look. What's going on for 3rd? We mentioned the close-up. It's now within reach. Anastasio has a chance to take away the podium in the heat. Martinenko gets zipped along from the inside. The 143 takes it. White flag is out, final time around.
Here they come, working their way through, and Anastasio will get that 3rd spot, and that's good enough for him to work. But as we watch here, Stowers starting to come down across the front straightaway, or the back straightaway, and he is looking to try and take home another heat race victory. Congratulations for him. He's been able to keep a nice, clean, consistent run out of the final corners. It is going to be Bo Stowers, your winner in heat race number 2 for the IAME Mini Swift.
Stowers dominates and pulls away from the pack. Ruben Greer gets himself a 2nd place run. Anastasio, with his recovery, gets in the top 3. Martinenko in the 4th spot. Hall rounds out the drivers on the racetrack in the lead lap at the time of the checkered flag. Hall will have to go the whole distance around, believe, to close out the race. Hank Lai is the only driver who is out of this one. So your thoughts so far going into the penultimate race, into the final race, in fact, of the day here, Taylor? as we've been swiftly moving through the afternoon.
Well, I got to say here for our competitors in our IAME K8 categories that it's going to be a little bit more interesting as far as who gets the better run at the start of the race, who's taking care of their equipment as we get set for the pre-finals. You know, we see this here for Bo Stowers. As long as he keeps a clean race, he's looking to capitalize and win his class by the looks of it. But Andrew Anastasio's got pace as well. I think he's just got to figure out and not make a mistake like he did in heat race number 2.
Going to be something to watch for indeed later on tomorrow. As you can see, the time and equipment has been weighed on down as much as possible. We'll take our break. Coming up into the final race of the day. You're watching Kart Chaser.
Gee, looks like we're missing an engine. What the hell am I supposed to tag?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
It doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
You gotta make weight. Okay, you're good.
Sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound-powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle. How the did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
Cool features that Race Studio 3 has that people normally don't know about it. The track map on the background. So if you just connect your computer to the internet, you can come up here and click on this Google Earth icon, and it will pull the background from the Google Earth into your GPS data.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Kart Zone is officially open. We're America's first true karting dealership, built by racers, for racers. From your first chassis to managing a full team, our experts guide you every step of the way. At Kart Zone, you'll find top-tier products from your most trusted brands. We believe in performance without compromise. Your karting journey starts here. Visit kartzonena.com.
Cool features that Race Studio 3 has that people normally don't know about it. If you look on the bottom left, I have the weather showing my ambient temperature, pressure, humidity, and even the wind direction and wind speed. To be able to get this, you gotta create an account on the AIM website and just log in. If you log in and have internet on, it will pull the weather from the previous year of sessions that you have.
If you want to learn more about data analysis, you can sign up on our website right now. Enjoy the online course today.
Let's go race.
Come on, man. Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At Sim Shop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Here we go again. It's time for more racing. This is our final race of the day. It's the KA Juniors with Nybird up at the front, Saraki, Johnson, Mars, and Islick up in the top 5. Green in 6th. We're underway once again here from Jacksonville. The big thing to think about is last race as one driver spins around, and that's the 872 going off and around. That's Neptune who goes on around in a circle. Was about to say here, Taylor, Mars, Burklow, Eslick all picked up penalties in the last race. Drivers looking to avoid the penalty box this time.
Absolutely. Nyberg, though, is going to try to see if he can hold on to the race lead this time as Sky Mars trying to work his way through. And how about for Bowen right there going around? And it looks like he will try to take over the race lead right here, leading off into the corner to start the opening lap. The 10 machine right there behind Brandon Saraki, your new race leader. Cameron Johnson trying to find his way as he's right on the tail of Nyberg.
All bumper to bumper right now. Cameron Johnson, the fastest out of the 3 last time through. Green able to pick up 2 spots off the jump. Jet Price picked up 5 on 1 lap alone. Already with a great hole shot in the first place. Here comes the battling though, down the back straightaway. Some side by side for second. Johnson's got the pole. Looks like Green's following suit. Green, Nyberg, contact to touch.
A little bit of argy-bargy right there as they try to get themselves going once again. As Saraki tries to hold off and see if he can run away from the competition, but Cameron Johnson's not gonna let him. Starting to reel him back in as Kai Mars tries to poke and prod his way to find his way around Johnson for second.
They're fighting very aggressively here. Once again, some beautiful battling amongst this pack. His teammates 1 and 2 for now. Look back there though. A little bit of a peace sign here coming up as we see the charge come up for drivers like Price, for Saunders. Many of the others try to sort themselves back up in that group.
Changes up at the top 4 right now, but yeah, good run for Saunders to get around Price and Portnoy. Siva Kumar also in the hunt as well for your chance for the top 10 as they come out of the bowl, down the back straightaway. Who's going to have the horsepower they need to get the pass done? Bowen Green, as here comes Cameron Johnson in the Gillard, down to the inside and makes the pass complete, moving up to first place.
Nicely done, nicely played, and it looks like at this point, the approach is simple. Try and limit the variables, make it a team battle amongst the top 2. Now, does that last is the question. A little bit of contact for Green. Nyberg stays in the popcorn seat. And obviously, the more fierce this gets here, the more this helps out Mars, which helps out Burklow, which helps with everybody else. The hope is simple. You have a lot of back and forth for the race lead to hold up the lead. Thing is, these teammates are in sync. They are picking the opportunity to just take the run and control it.
Which is not a bad idea. I mean, that saves a whole lot of time compared to battling for position, but you don't want to be doing that too much. So Saraki and Johnson just swapping it off a little bit by making sure they quickly get back in line and allowing each other to get through instead of fighting each other, which would allow drivers like Nyberg or Green or Kai Mars to close back in. So good call for them as they head down the back straightaway. No one's tucking out of line yet. They're all staying closed up, bumper to bumper, no issues for anyone, but this is your fight for the race lead. 5 karts ready to see who comes out on top with 3 minutes to go.
Looking to duke it on out as there goes Mars. He sails up the inside, takes it away. Now, you have teammates 1 and 2, teammates 3 and 4. Then you have Nyberg on an island at this point. One of the logos for a broadcast later today says, outwit, outplay, outlast. And right now it's like a game of Survivor. find your teammates, and guess what? You make your alliance work to get you somewhere. Without alliance, it's hard.
Well, you got to keep up with that alliance and make sure you take care of it. So these drivers here are going to work their way through as Saraki and Johnson, the two alliances right here, trying to work together, thinking of a bigger picture, not battling too hard. Let's see if they can separate from the drivers of Green and Mars and wait for that final lap as they head down the back straightaway once again. Kai Mars and Green trying to work together to push the envelope. As they come down the back straightaway, who will set the pace here amongst these four drivers?
That's a huge question mark, but it's looking like Saraki and Johnson last time through a 10th quicker. That's the key right now. Seems like they have dialed this in for their setups perfectly. And their Franklin Motorsports machines are in the ballpark of where they need to be for tomorrow. Absolutely here. How is this going to help with the points? Keep in mind, Saraki ended up getting kicked around in the last race, down to 7th with the contact. Johnson was the one who picked up the win. So this is big for Saraki. This gets him at least in the first 2 rows, you think, Taylor? But for Johnson, at the very minimum, gets the front row.
Yeah, this is a big-time help for both of them here. And, of course, for someone like Cameron Johnson, a front-row starting position for the pre-final at the very least. So he's looking to try to make sure he stays there, not cause any issues, especially right now, given the fact there's still plenty of time for someone like Green and Mars, if these two start battling, to close back in on them as they come down into the final couple of corners. Johnson realizes that, settles in, and just works with Saraki, trying to see if these two can come home with a strong finish.
40 seconds to work with on the board here. Like we're coming around to what's going to be 3 laps to go. Green and Mars seem pretty well in sync. Timmy Tex just trying to push. Mars, see right there, good exit. Taking the momentum somewhere, trying to carry it forward. The problem is right now they are not in the drafting distance of the race leaders. As we know, you get within that 1 second, it becomes rapid on the close. Right now, they need some luck to turn their way. They just lost 4 tenths, and Saraki and Johnson are free to play with 3 to go with the way things are going in their swap.
Yeah, they got a little bit of change in their pocket. They're ready to go and fight it out here amongst them. Cameron wants to try and have a pole position start for him for sure, as he wants to try to lead it. As he looks over his shoulder, gives Saraki the chance, like, hey, let's continue to pull away. And we'll keep Green and Mars behind us as they head down the back straightaway to get 2 laps to go.
A couple more times around coming up here as the work is on up at the front, and the work is on in the battle for a 3rd. Nyberg, as we would expect without a dancing partner, has lost 6 seconds in the course the past few laps. Price, Portnoy, Burklow have actually just about reeled them on in for 6th on back on their path. But up front, Rocky looking to try and see if there's a pull coming up. Will Johnson want to keep it? Will Saraki try to rip it away? White flag is out. Final time around this time.
Not enough to try anything going into the first couple of corners here for Saraki. He's too far back. He's going to have to wait till the back straightaway to try something if he chooses to do so, which you got to try it here if you want to have a shot to get a heat race win in the Apex Championship as they come out of the pole down the back straightaway, and we'll see who comes out on top here as they work their way through. And so far, now the teammates on the Kart teams are battling it out. One cone gets knocked over. Here comes Saraki around the outside, tucks back in to cross him over.
Oh, contact! They make contact. Cameron Johnson gets kicked off the racetrack this time. Johnson tries to get fired up. Saraki unofficially up in front. And my, oh my, another bit of contact, and this time it's teammates. Johnson falls to 5th.
That was unexpected completely for that. I was not expecting Saraki to try a move where there wasn't really a hole. We'll
wow.
Officials have to pay on that.
So again, Unofficially, Saraki up in the front, Green, Mars, Nyberg, Johnson. Well, that's a way to end things off. Your final thoughts here, Taylor, as that is a wild ending.
Well, we're going to ramp it up a little bit more tomorrow with the pre-final action for sure. And I got to say, for someone like Cameron Johnson, with the speed he has, he's going to be coming through the field and working his way up for a chance. And may not want to play teammates. He may want to try and just be on his lonesome and just hold on and be a little more aggressive on the blocking for sure. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Well, that being said, it's just about time to say goodbye here today. We've been happy to have you with us all throughout the day. We'll be happy to have you with us tomorrow. We start off at 8 a.m. tomorrow with warm-ups. Then the racing starts off at about 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Kart Chaser for coverage of Apex in the Southeast. That being said, for Taylor Burst, for everybody here on our crew today for Kart Chaser, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching today's action from Jacksonville, Florida. We'll see you tomorrow morning here from North Florida.
This broadcast is the sole property of Kart Chaser Group, LLC. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the images, audio, or accounts of this event, in whole or in part, without the expressed written consent of Kart Chaser Group, LLC is strictly prohibited. Thanks for watching.